What can I do for you? Hey there. Have a good one. See you later. How are you? Safe travels. Hey there. Have a good one.
Hey there. Have a good one. How are you? You need something? Safe travels.
because there's trogs in the way. So there's no quest in Ironforge. Need to figure out what the most range weapon I can acquire is. I don't have the skill, do I? So I need to. Well, I need basically a fishing. See how much it costs to train fishing.
Hello. See you later.
I buy and trade. Have a good one.
So let's make a little goal here. Silver, fishing, copper. Is there treasure chests? I know there's by the DPS. Is there? Am I looking for options? Solitude. Is it solitude? explore. I don't think there's any movable objects. Let's go check the mine, see if there's like a chest in there. Refreshing spring water. Let's search that and then it'll say what it's contained in. Contained in small chest fished. Message in a bottle. Water barrel. Battered chest. Ripe pumpkin. Water barrels can spawn in Goldshire. Okay. And the Tower of Zora. And there can be chests up in here. Apparently, chests can spawn up in here. So let's see if we can find a chest. Skill. Nasus. This might have been a mistake being a Shadow Meld was the play. Spirit. That's not a little barrel. Aha! Legendary find right here. Copper, bread, and a cloak. Alright. We need a respawn on the chest. So, hang out here, and I want to read these. Ranged attack power, so I'm going to be looking for agility. Literally, agility is going to be the only kind of stat I think about and care about. Spawn on the chest is. can't get layered because I can't group. I could try logging out and logging back in and seeing if that was going to be there. I don't think that's against the rules. Yeah, that's not against the rules. We can try to layer ourselves logging in. I don't know how we'll tell where we are. We got all 3 of these are level 3s. All level 3s. Back in. 3, 3. I don't know if I layered. Probably did not. I don't know for sure the other chest spawn is right here. But from these cave layouts, this is the other spot where I think we get a cave chest here. Waiting for this to respawn. Aesthetics, challenge, warrior. Let's see if I can find any anybody ready.
Right, let's go.
That guy's a hunter. This guy's attempting it as a warrior. And he's level 20 something. 24. The bear's gonna get you. Okay.
Hey Meta, take a photo.
Can you beat WoW Classic without taking damage? How do you do that?
Hey guys, it's Statics. I'll make this short because I'm still butthurt over this. So, in video games there's this idea of no hit or no damage runs, where you beat the game without at any point taking any damage.
Right.
Challenge is quite popular in games like Dark Souls and Sekiro. It has been done in Ninja Gaiden, in Pokemon, Minecraft, Zelda. It's all over the place. I don't play any of these games. I play World of Warcraft Classic, so I figured, why not give it a try to do this no damage challenge in an MMO, where reaching max level and beating the game takes like 150 plus hours. So I did. WoW is a target lock game, so very little active damage evading you can do outside of staying out of range of melee mobs or walking out of fire. However, the game has a lot of damage absorption mechanics, so you can, for example, put up a mana shield or drink a nature protection potion to, protect yourself from hits and lightning bolts thrown at you.
Wait, does that count if you get hit by with like the shield? I guess so she's at 1 health. So if she gets hit by any actual damage, it would instantly kill her. How does she stay? You still take I think you still take damage.
Phase. There are a bunch of different classes in WoW Classic. Most of them are not really feasible for this challenge. I think hunters and warlocks can be done because they have pets that can tank damage, and mage and priests have various shield spells that allow them to protect themselves from damage.
Makes sense.
Since World of Warcraft is an MMO, we gotta also ban any kind of assistance from other players, so no trading, no grouping, nor accepting any other
No
kind of help.
Asmon Golding.
So I tried that, and it was horrendous. First attempt, a mage, I lost at level 14 because the cat I was fighting was running too fast. So that's the kind of stuff that you lose this
That's because he's got
challenge to.
4 legs. You've
Second
only got 2.
mage, filled at level 8 because of unlucky.
Yeah, these Murlocs are so stupid. This is the thing, like, I like this back in Vanilla WoW, is that in the very beginning, whenever you get to, like, level 6, man, you're, like, level 7, and you're like, dude, I own this fucking, I own this forest, I run this place. And then you go over and you have, like, 3 Murlocs that just beat this shit out of you as you're trying to, like, fucking staggering your days while, like, 3 mobs are attacking you back to Goldshire, and you just die. It's like, what up, bitch? Welcome to the game. Welcome to the fucking show.
Mob pathing. That's the thing with doing this in an MMO. You don't actually know where mobs will spawn or when they will spawn.
That's
because
true.
there are other players running around changing the world. So I tried 2 priests and 2 hunters. I took damage at 14 and 18 because my pet died and my spells got resisted.
Seems
so
like he's
again,
doing pretty well here.
The thing with doing no damage in an RPG is you have a lot of random rolls, right? So your
And
abilities
boom.
might just fail you. But we went again with another mage, and that was the blessed run.
Are you
We made a
kidding
mage
me?
called Jaina. We got to level 20, and we got our first absorption ability, which is Mana Shield.
Okay.
But Mana Shield only absorbs physical damage. And it almost made me fail the challenge because a random dwarf applied a poison to me, which deals nature damage. You can see the thing play out here.
Okay, so he can actually take damage. It's just that if any damage is actually applied to his character. So he can absorb damage, but he can't actually take damage. He's a clicker? I mean, like, you're not going to keybind a greater nature protection potion. I mean, like, let's be honest.
Yeah. Oh my! So this run was very stressful. But we made it.
Yep.
We went through the 20s to the 30s. We got to level 40. We eventually got our
shit.
mount. We even got Tidal Charm, which is a very powerful rare
Wow.
trinket in the game, which actually helped us to do some quests later on because it
I'm really
stuns
jealous
the
of this
target,
guy's
so,
hair, man.
A stunned target can't deal damage.
Look at that.
obviously.
Man, fuck this dude.
But the mount again almost killed me because of falling damage. You can take falling damage if you fall off a hill. And that is still damage, right? As is walking into any kind of fire source in the game.
So
by the
even
way.
taking fall damage?
Goddamn braziers in
God.
Ironforge that are around every corner. You run into them
That
or close to
counts?
them. Run is over. The worst thing about most of these absorb abilities is that they last
Yeah, they
anywhere
run
from
out.
30 seconds to 1 minute, so you have to constantly remember to reapply them. And there were a bunch of moments in which I forgot to refresh them in time and almost got hit.
Oh my god.
Oh my! The entire run is anxiety-inducing as fuck, so I really don't recommend you try this.
I was about to say.
Especially leveling 1 to 60 is
Dude, that would suck.
long fucking journey. We are talking about 6 days of playtime, more. But we persisted. We got all the way to the very end of it.
6 days of playtime is pretty fucking good, though. I mean, whenever you think about it, like 6 days, that's pretty good. Like, honestly, what's the normal playtime? Yeah, what is the normal playtime? I don't even know. Buy him a Jaina body pillow? Yeah, it's like 12 days. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good overall.
Level 58 and a half. We were
Only if it's a real one.
175 hours into the run. 175 hours without taking a single point of damage, without fucking up a single time.
This dude is AoE grinding?
And we actually completed all the quests in the hardest zones of the game. We
This guy's
finished Ogoro,
insane.
we had Western Plaguelands done, we had Eastern Plaguelands
I don't know,
done.
dude.
We had all the quests in Winter.
It's like, I don't know how you do a challenge like this and you don't end up at the end of it with a medical disorder. Some sort of like a lung problem, like high blood pressure or something. You know what I mean?
Spring done. We had 1 level to go, and then I fucked up. I took an instant spell blast to the face. And that's it. Run's over. After 175 hours, 1 second, gone. So there you have it. Can you beat WoW Classic, solo, unassisted, leveling 1 to 60, actually doing the quests that the game throws at you without ever taking
That
damage?
sucks, man.
I almost did, which also means I didn't.
That sucks.
Can't recommend that you try.
That is so
So
sad.
now I'm going back to leveling more casually.
Dude, the guy, like, this is the worst part. Like, some of these people that do these challenges, look at his face.
An instant spell blast to the face. And that's it. Runs over. After 175 hours. 1
Bro,
second.
I would have been out the window. I would have been out the window. I would have been halfway to the moon by this time. I would have been so goddamn mad. Like, I've lost characters after like an hour, and I want to jump out a window. This dude does it for 6 days. Y'all have no idea how mad I used to get back in the day. Like, the Crocodile flashback. Well, I'll show you guys whenever I remember. Let me finish this. I'll show you.
Gone. So for now I'm going back to leveling more
Oh
casually.
my god.
With 1 life,
Yeah.
of course. And blindfolded, or without ever looting anything, or whatever else we can come up with. See you guys live on Twitch.
This guy's
Bye.
nuts. Like, there are some people like this, and it's like,
Took damage.
he's like, these are the people that watch like the fucking Pain Olympics, or like that shit from back in like 2007. These are the people that watched it, and like, you know, where like the dude takes like a fucking like a hammer and he hammers his own dicks, and he hammers like his friend's dick or something like that. Like, these people watch that because like this dude's probably about as old as I am, so like, you know, we're probably in high school around the same time. Like, we both probably watched this shit, and some people got so fucked up on it they decided to think this shit was fun.
Again.
Okay, okay. Hello, Asmon. Wow. Wow. And I want to show you, before I move on to the next one here, I want to show you my Iron Man run. Asmon Gold Iron Man. Now, this was... probably the worst experience I've ever had in my entire life.
So I have 43.
I was so upset about this. I genuinely just watch.
You're right on top of them. Okay, there we go.
22 more copies.
Calmus, the
And
pit
like,
master.
I had such a big dick. It was this long. I'm not actually probably I can't, the camera's not big enough, right? But like, it was huge. And I went in on an Iron Man character with 1 life in full gray gear, and I was soloing group quests of mobs that were the same level as I was. And I said, you know, I was soloing elites. I said, you know what? I gotta put on a show for these stupid ass kids that are watching it. By kids, I mean 35-year-old boomers. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. And I'll show you guys what. There's one more before this. I'll show you guys this. This is how close sometimes it came.
Has been mastered.
So I killed it.
Oh, I'm very glad that's done. I am very, very fucking glad that's done. That was, I remember wiping and dying on this quest on my warrior. And so the fact that I was able... Oh, okay.
So what happened there is you would have to kite the NPC through the small crocolisk eggs, but they would also respawn. And I could have actually avoided this. Well, I'll show you
That's
what
not
happened.
good at all. Let me just go ahead and I will MD myself. Okay. Am I going to die here? This is really not good. Okay,
I didn't trap, I didn't do
I'm jumping,
anything,
I'm gonna die.
man.
I'm gonna die. I'm dead.
This is the worst day of my life. Dude, I am the worst. Like, I am a choke artist, man. Like, I could have jumped and just removed the debuff whenever I had the disengage up. I could have done 5 different things. I didn't do a single fucking one of them, and I died. So I'll show you another one. Episode. I want to show you one more thing before I watch the other video. Okay? This is like me fucking showing people my
Sup, yo? Oh, it's me, it's your boy, Asmongold, and today we're going to be continuing the Iron Man Challenge. We're going to be following the adventures of Asmongler 2, level AT Hunter, and his trusty wolf companion, Motherfucker Jones, in their quest to reach level 100 under all of the Iron Man constraints to...
Those are the good days, weren't they? I'll show you the closest call I've ever had. Watch my fucking health.
Misdirect the pet, and start the
Watch
shit up.
my
Okay,
fucking
only
health.
For 5,000 or 500? 5,000, that wouldn't be an only. Okay, and Molten Fury, and then now we're going to get under a shell, and we'll cast this. There we go. All right.
Everything's
and
fine.
that did about 5,000 damage.
Everything is
so
totally
that's,
good.
That's
Nothing wrong.
negligible. And if I don't
Actually,
have
yeah,
enough
it was the same
time, I
shot,
can just
yeah.
go ahead and deterrence. Hopefully I will. Okay, will I have
So it wasn't up in time, and the Molten Fury was going to get cast.
it up?
Look at my fucking health. Look at my fucking health, dude. I didn't die. I went down to like 0 health. I was at like 2 health. The only reason I survived that. Wait, why are y'all like acting like it's a big deal that I'm wearing the same shirt? Like, why do you guys act like that's a big deal? Like, I wear the same shirt all the time. Like, I have, listen. Look at this. I've had this, I'm not gonna show right now. I've had this, I wear the same clothes that I had in high school. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna wear this shirt. In 20 years, I'll probably have this shirt. Well, why would I change? Why would I buy the shirt if I was just gonna stop wearing it?
Looking for treasure just as I need another 22 copper. I need 22 copper. Where's my copper at? Ruby copper. Respawn appears to be like 5 minutes or something like that. There's definitely some time between them. Let me see your active achievements. Look at this. Oh my god. I needed 22, I got 19. 83, 78, 79, 83, 87, 179, 10, 11, 12, 13, 120. Yeah, I need 3 more copper. Damn it, this is like the most silly obstacle ever. Like 4 copper. minutes between units. Water barrel.
Is everyone together? I'm gonna ask again, does everyone have their boarding pass? We need to immediately find the gate.
This right here is a spring call. Everybody's like, hey, TKP, how do you get rid of a rainbow? Don't do it with a dull saw. Don't do it if you don't know what you're doing. Leave it alone because they can kill you.
get a gun, right? Let's see here if I can find a guide about the weapon training. So bows and thrown are in Dark Analysis. Oh, I can learn thrown in Iron Forge. 10 silver. Vegan belt skinner, I think turn.
Good day to you. See you around. See you later. See you around.
Weapons, guns. Yeah, so.
How are you? Have a good one. Safe travels.
I can't do that. Can't do that. What's across the border? Fort camp. Thieves. Okay, so now we gotta go learn fishing.
Excellent!
Yeah, that's what I'm happy with it. To let Joe Boy run to Bullshine.
Cover for me. I got a whiz behind a tree. How does a Tauren hide in a cherry tree? He paints his hooves red.
Needs something? I don't have copper to train it yet. So we gotta go get the copper.
What are you looking for?
All those. Alright, we need 12 more copper.
Be careful.
The goal here is to get to this is going to be the cheaper move. But I need to get at least 10 silver.
What can I do for you?
Requires level 5. I did not foresee that.
See you around.
Huh. Okay. We're gonna have to ride the Explorer's Struggle Bus. See if we can get an Explorer here. I can kill sheep? I get XP for killing sheep. Do they hit back? sheep hit back or not. Spider there. We can get to the tower of soda. Maybe. This is gonna suck. Bear is too. We gotta get to level 5. Is going to be insane. Let's see if I can get the field, the lumber mill. There's Defius here though, so I might not be able to use these things. Get to the logging camp. Can I get the tower, sentry tower? Try though. Gotta get so much XP. There's guards here, so I must be able to get to the tower.
Need help? Be careful.
Oh my god. How am I gonna get 2 levels? How do I get the Red Bush Explorer? What are you doing? This is so tense. Wait, did she immediately pull another one? Jeez, priests are crazy. Okay. Mess with that prowler. That prowler. This is a mistake, right? Going for this? Get this Explorer here, but I can't really go into this zone. Nature Wild. 3 corners, hey, sweet. Gotta explore that. Let's get the frick out of here. There's all sides here. Will it attack me? If I punch this deer? I'm gonna punch this deer. Oh, big boy. I'm safe to stand here. Okay. History here. How long ago was I looking at that fishing skit video? Gotta be around here somewhere. How far back have I gone now? August 30th. I don't know. Can't find it. Find it? I found it.
Look at food bank. I don't know where some of these people would go.
Now before you say anything, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Yeko, this really seems like a great use of your time and resources. And I would agree, but as it turns out, a lot of this game actually revolves around killing things. Disturbing, I know. Just a quick disclaimer before we get into the video, this was all recorded back in 2020 on the WoW Classic Vanilla servers and not the Classic TBC servers. Just wanted to have that said to avoid any confusion. Now let's get started. There's only 3 rules to this challenge. Rule number 1, I cannot injure any mobs whatsoever. Rule number 2, I cannot be in a group with someone who's not following the first rule. And third rule is no repeat quests. Starting off with Nordshire Valley, there really isn't too much I can do here. There's only 2 short introduction quests and then a final quest near the exit that leads you over to Goldshire. I then went over to the Dwarf starting zone, but turns out the only quest I was able to do there at level 1 was the Caranos delivery quest. So that only leaves me with the Night Elf starting zone, but problem is, it's kind of on the other side of the world. But it's not like I was just gonna give up 10 minutes into this challenge, so I started making my way over there, and I'm just fucking with you, I took a Mage portal. Once I arrived in Shadowglen, I was pleasantly surprised at the amount of quests I was able to do here. Granted, most of them were short introduction quests that didn't award a lot of XP, but it was still a lot more than the other two zones. But after finishing my last quest in Shadowglen, it was time for me to turn to my second method of gaining XP, which, as you might have guessed, is going to be exploring. I explored all of Teldrassil and Elven Forest, which was enough to get me to level 3 so I could start questing again. And you might be wondering why I waited until now to turn into Goldshire quest. The reason why is because at the time I was under the impression that quests with red difficulty levels would give less XP than those with yellow. But turns out this is not the case at all, and all quests will give you the exact same amount of XP regardless of difficulty level, with the exception of grey quests. But for the time being, you're gonna see me run back and forth a lot for this exact reason, because I was trying to avoid the red quests. I went back over to the Dwarf starting zone, and now that I was a bit higher level, there were some quests I was able to do here. Not as many as Shadowglen, but overall the XP might have actually been better here. By far, the worst starting zone was the human one, which makes sense if you think about it, because most of the quests in there are killing quests. The rest of Elven Forest, however, is actually pretty good, but before getting into it, I wanted to explore the other starting zones first. And by other, I of course mean the Horde starting zones, because even though we can't do any quests there, we still want the XP we get from exploring them. Problem is, I don't want to cross any other zones on my way there, because unlike with questing, your level actually does matter when it comes to exploration XP. If you're not within 5 levels of the intended level of the zone, then you will gain less XP for exploring it. After a bit of swimming, I finally arrived in Durotar. The local residents didn't seem to approve of me, but luckily I did have my Jordans on me. I explored all of Durotar, including can't do any quests there, we still want the XP we get from exploring them. Problem is, I don't want to cross any other zones on my way there, because unlike with questing, your level actually does matter when it comes to exploration XP. If you're not within 5 levels of the intended level of the zone, then you will gain less XP for exploring it. After a bit of swimming, I finally arrived in Durotar. The local residents didn't seem to approve of me, but luckily I did have my Jordans on me. I explored all of Durotar, including Orgrimmar. I then went over to Mulgore through the Barrens. And lastly, Trisvold Glades, which was actually pretty easy to get to, because at the time a lot of people were selling summons outside of Scarlet Monastery. I then went over to Stormwind, which I actually hadn't been to yet, and there's 3 low level quests that I can do here. You're actually able to do them as early as level 1, I believe. The only reason I hadn't done them yet is because I kinda forgot about them. So it's a good thing I caught up on them, because if I had waited 1 more level, I'm pretty sure they would have turned grey and I would have lost out on that XP. And it's not like they give a lot of XP, but in a challenge like this, I'm gonna need everything I can get. In fact, let's take a minute to talk about the types of quests in this game, because most of them tend to fall into one of 4 categories. The first one is the killing quests, which obviously I can't do. Secondly, we have the collect quests, where you're usually looting items off mobs, oftentimes some type of animal parts. And some of these quests I actually am able to do, because not all of these items are bind on pickup, meaning I can buy them off the auction house. And then we have travel quests, which usually have you running from one NPC to another, and they don't offer a lot of XP, they're more just kind of meant to guide you in the direction of the next quest hub. And lastly, we have gathering quests, where you're looting items off the ground. Usually there's a lot of mobs around that get in your way, so oftentimes I would need to have someone come and clear out the mobs for me beforehand, which is not against the rules as long as I'm not grouped with them. Now, there does of course exist quests outside of these. There is escort quests, for example, but I would say about 80% or so fit into one of these 4 categories. And it's gonna get repetitive and boring to see the same type of quests over and over again. So I'm gonna focus talking about the ones that stick out in one way or another, like profession quests, for example. And I'm about to do my first one, although this one is not particularly exciting. All you have to do is hand him some spider legs. What is a little bit interesting about this quest though is that it's the only profession quest in the game that you can do at level 1 profession skill. So the next time you level a Night Elf, don't forget to pick up cooking for a free quest. There was also a quest I could do in Durotar, which is the gathering quest from the goblin outside of Orgrimmar. Which I guess makes sense if you think about it, because goblins are meant to be faction neutral. But at this point I'm gonna start speeding up the footage, at least on the parts that aren't particularly interesting, because otherwise this video would be over an hour long, and I thought a lot about how I wanted to edit this video. At first I was thinking of just doing big jump cuts and speaking briefly about each zone, but I wanted all of the quests included in the video. That way there is some degree of evidence to the fact that I did in fact do this entire run without any mob XP whatsoever, so that every time my XP bar moves, you'll be able to see the reason why, with the exception of exploration, because I didn't want to include all of the footage of me running around in all the different zones, because even sped up, that would be really boring to watch. Instead, I will just include a small clip of me exploring the last area of each zone whenever they happen. And we're at level 10 now, which is the point where your leveling speed tends to slow down quite a lot, but I'm still doing okay for now, because even though I'm not able to do the majority of the quests in any given area, the fact that I can do quests in all 3 of the starting zones more than make up for that fact. But soon enough I'm gonna run out of quests in these zones, and I will have to rely on 1 or 2 zones at a time to get me through multiple levels. That's why it's important I do all the quests I possibly can, including the profession quests. Most of these quests will unlock once you have reached a certain milestone within the profession, such as reaching level 50 or 100. Most of the quests will also have a character level requirement, and so doing all of them and doing them at a time when they're still relevant to you can get a little bit tricky, since you can only have 2 main professions at any given time. Luckily though, through some clever planning, I was able to do all of them without ever having to re-level the same profession. And this is when I did my first escort quest, and yes, these quests do usually have mobs spawn during them, but as long as I'm not the one killing them and I'm not grouped with that person, I'm fine. I'm sure to some of you this feels like cheating, but the truth is, if I wasn't doing this, then I wouldn't really get anywhere with this challenge. And I'm doing the first couple of quests in Darkshore right now, as you can see, but I will come back to this zone later, so I'll say my thoughts about it until then. For now, we're going to head back to Westfall to do the Captain Sanders quest chain. If you're not familiar with this quest, it starts from a map that drops from the airlocks in this zone. There's a lot of items like this in the game that starts a quest, but what's interesting about this one is that it's one of the very few that is not bind on pickup. The XP is really good, and the chain itself is really simple. You just run around Westfall clicking different objects, and after that I figured it was a good a time as any to go explore Silverpine Forest. This zone was a bit of a headache because there's no Alliance graveyard in the entirety of the zone, meaning that if you die you have to run all the way from South Shore, even if you die at the very top of the zone, which did happen to me more than once. Next up is the first class quest. Now, I had no idea if Paladin was going to be the best class for this. I just kinda picked Paladin because it's my go-to class, but it worked out pretty well, and I had a lot of quests that I was able to do, and most of them gave pretty good XP. This first class quest is the one you do to learn Resurrection. Most of the quests in this chain take place in Stormwind, and I was able to do all of them except for the very last one because it requires you to kill some Defiance mages. After that, I finished off the quest I had left in Loch Modan and Westfall. I realized I haven't really talked about Loch Modan at all, but there really isn't much to talk about. It's a decent zone in terms of XP, but the quests themselves are pretty generic and boring. At least the ones that I'm able to do within this challenge. But now that I was level 14, it was a good time to go back to Darkshore. There's a lot to like about this zone. It has a ton of quests, and a lot of them are fairly unique, like the scrying quests or this quest that has you capture a rabid bear. But more importantly for me is that most of the quests in this zone does not directly require you to kill any mobs. And yes, it is still implied that you're supposed to be killing mobs, like with the 3 different escort quests, or the quest that has you collect mushrooms in a cave, cave that's absolutely packed with mobs, but the important thing is that the actual quest objective does not require me to. And this was around the time that I realized that quest XP is not impacted by the quest difficulty, so from this point on you're gonna see me stick to one zone for as long as I can, as long as there are quests that I can do. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Some of the quests in this zone were the worst I've ever done, and I would never in a million years think of doing them if it weren't for this challenge. And I am of course talking about fishing quests. There's actually 3 of them in this zone, and I don't think I've ever been so bored in my entire life. And I swear to God, if any of you smartasses comment some dumb shit like it's not a pacifist run because I killed a fish, I'm gonna hunt you down and I'm gonna force you to watch the unedited footage of me fishing for 30 minutes.
Ready?
The Wild Robot is 100% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Movies just don't get better than this.
Sometimes, to survive, we must become more than we were programmed to be.
The Wild Robot is a cinematic achievement on every level and the best animated movie of the year.
How would you rate my performance? I will register that as a 10.
The Wild Robot in theater 7.
Anyway, after finishing up the last couple of quests in Darkshore, I was now halfway to level 16, and this is where things are gonna start getting a little bit more difficult. I picked up all the quests I could in Ratchet, which for now is only 3. One of them is the One of them is the
Samoflange
quest chain, which unfortunately we're only able to do the first 2 quests of, and neither of them award a lot of XP. Another quest takes you over to Stone Talon Mountains to collect some spider eggs. I also took the time to explore the zone while I was there. And the last one is the Herbalism quest, and you need level 50 Herbalism to unlock it. Once you have the quest, all you have to do is run around and collect low-level herbs, and the quest items will drop off the herbs themselves. I did 2 more profession quests after this, one for blacksmithing and one for leatherworking, where basically you just have to craft some items and turn them in. It's kind of a shame that they didn't do more with the profession quests in this game. I mean, first of all, it kind of feels like they don't even want you to find the quests. Like, how would you even know that you unlock a new Herbalism quest at level 50 in Ratchet of all places, especially if you're Alliance? It would have made so much more sense for you to be able to pick up these quests from any of your profession trainers, which is pretty much what they did with class quests, so I don't see why they couldn't have done the same for profession quests. It would have been a great way to encourage people to level their professions as they level their character, which is something I feel like most people just don't do nowadays. Although, if we're being honest, people don't really seem to be leveling their characters either, but that's a discussion for another time. Also did the donation of wool quests. Most of you are probably familiar with these. There's 4 different hand-ins, one for each race. A lot of people use them as a quick way to gain reputation, but they do also offer some XP. After that, I went back to Loch Modan because I had unlocked another quest there. This is the last quest we can do in this zone, except for a short paladin quest later on. I then got started on Red Ridge Mountains, and one fun fact about this zone is that the Hillary Necklace quest is actually doable on Horde as well. It's the quest where you help some kids find a lost necklace.
Here there.
I'm actually not 100% sure
Watch,
this
get her
works
back.
on Hillary, but I do remember doing this in TBC. Overall, there's not too many quests we can do here. This zone has a lot of collect quests, but unfortunately most of the items are bound on pickup. Unlike Westfall, where pretty much all the collect quests were doable. I also got started on Ashenvale, but I'm still only level 17, so I don't have access to most of the quests here still. Also had a handful of quests in Stoneflower Mountains, which was enough to get me to level 18. Did a few quests in Wetlands, but just like with Ashenvale, we still haven't unlocked most of the quests in this zone. Luckily for me though, the Fire Festival was going on at the time, and event quests are great because they usually try to be inclusive to all levels, which means I usually have at least a couple of quests that I'm able to do, and there's almost no event quest that requires you to kill any mobs. And the Fire Festival is one of the best events for me because I'm able to do almost all of the
doesn't really matter.
What's on your mind? Off with you.
weapon swing is probably what it's called. Weapon swing timer. Let's see. Latest, probably this one.
Here.